Welcome back to Inwood Fishing. I just got back from fishing for bait. I was fishing a ditch, as a lot of you may know. There's a video already. It's right before this one. Now I want to freeze the bait, and the reason why I want to freeze it is so I have it ready to go. If I just put it in the refrigerator, it's going to eventually go soft and bad, and I'm going to have to throw it away. It's going to be a big waste. So freezing it is the way to go. I realize a lot of people have their own way of freezing bait, and that's fine. This is just how I do it. I have tried freezing panfish in the past and it didn't work out, so I discovered a way that works for me. I haven't had any problems. In the past, when I would freeze like bluegill just in a Ziploc bag or cellophane, you know, somehow like that, it would come out soft and kind of rotted, and it just didn't work that great. So let me show you my new improved method of freezing panfish. Let's get to it. When I know that I'm going to freeze bait to put up for later, I always start with a salt slurry. And what a salt slurry is: ice cubes, water, and salt. I use pool salt because it's cheap. I get a big bag. This has 2 cups of salt in it and about around a gallon of water and a lot of ice. As you can see, you may already know, I make my own ice, like little shot glass ice cubes. You need the water and the ice to be in contact directly with each other for this to work. All right, so what that does is it shock freezes the fish. It brings the temperature down below freezing. So put your hands in here. Woo, it gets painful after a while. So here's a little tip. If you can't take the cold, get the tongs out and get your fish out like that. As you can see, this fish is fairly frozen. All right, so right here I have a I have a towel. Some people use paper towels, some people use newspaper. I'm gonna lay the fish down like that. Now let me get the rest of these fish out and let's see how much bait I actually got, because I wasn't counting when I did this. Can't believe I call this a paper towel. This is just a towel I don't care about. It's a bathroom towel. Don't use your wife's favorite towel. This is just some old dirty towel that's been kicking around that I use for utilitarian purposes like this. Now the reason why I got the towel down isn't just so I won't make a mess on the table. It's to absorb moisture, because these fish are coming out of here wet. Before I go on to the next step, I will make sure they're padded dry, and I'll show you that. Let's get these fish out. All right, the final count is 14 bait fish. That'll last me for 2 or 3 days or more. So the reason why I want to dry these as much as possible is when they freeze, if they are pretty wet, that could cause problems, could lead to freezer burn. I'm not going to have these frozen for too long because I am fairly active catfishing right now. As you see, I just folded the towel over onto them and I'm pressing down, patting them dry. Some guys go to some crazy lengths to get their bait fish dry, and that's fine. I think that is better to do when you're going to keep them for months, and I'm not keeping these for months. I'm just going to keep them frozen over a period of days, maybe over a week. Otherwise, I would end up with a very fishy refrigerator, and I don't want that. Okay, if you don't know, this is a vacuum sealer. Some of you just call them food savers, but this is not that brand. This is a different brand. This one's by Mueller. It's pretty good. And these are the vacuum seal bags. This comes in a roll or individual bags. I get the roll. I recommend that you get the best bags. These are actually by Food Saver. They're pretty good, pretty decent bags. They seal pretty good. So you just roll this out. You can take your fish and lay them there. See what you need. You don't want to cut that bag too small. Something about like this looks good. We're going to do 2 fish per this bag. Come out a little bit. Take these scissors, get nice and straight, and cut. These scissors need to be sharpened. It's okay if you don't get a straight cut because it doesn't really matter. You just don't want it crazy out of whack. Woo! You sharpen those. All right, now we need to seal this because this is open at both ends. To do that, we're going to open this up, put the bag in here. There's an empty space here. You want the open end to be inside it. Now, we're going to shut this. Push down till it clicks and hit seal. And there you go, we got a seal. Now I'm going to put these fish in here. There we go. It's good to try and like squeeze as much of this air out as possible. Now we're going to clamp that down and hit vacuum seal right here. See what it's doing? It's taking all the oxygen out of that bag. And that'll keep that fish really fresh. So when I thaw it out, it'll be fresh to the catfish and it'll be a good bait. I love doing this. Now, if you don't feel like you got a good seal, a good vacuum, you know, you can always do this again. And there we go. Release it. Look at that. Put that right in the freezer right now. Since I use these quite regularly, I'm not bothering to date them, but if I plan on stacking up on a lot of bait and I'm going to use it over a long period of time, I might date it, but I'm fishing so regularly that I'm just going right through it, so there's no point in writing on it for me right now, but you can do what you want to. With little fish like this that I plan on fishing whole or half, I can put a lot in, and I'm going to do 5 in this bag and kind of get them arranged a little bit. Kind of flatten that down. That'll be one session. And hit vacuum seal. And here we go. 5 bait fish in one bag. Actually broke out my straight razor. These scissors were disappointing me so bad that I broke out this razor blade, because I think it's really important that you get a halfway decent straight cut, not so jagged. Those scissors just were horrible, but that's probably because these bags are so good, they're thick. Bad scissors won't cut through them. You need a straight razor blade, or at least a halfway decent pair of scissors. I need to sharpen those scissors. All right, let me finish. Okay, so I'm done, and I learned something from one of my own videos. That's why I make videos. I learn a lot of things making videos. So at first I thought it wasn't that big of a deal, you know, if your cut's not that great, but it needs to be kind of clean, fairly clean, because I noticed that it wasn't sealing, it wasn't vacuum sealing correctly, and I thought about it. I made a straight cut with this razor and it worked out. So what did I just learn? Clean cuts. Okay, so I got 4 bags of bait out of that bait fishing haul I just did. So that's 4 sessions worth of bait. So that means if everything goes right, 4 catfish videos before I have to go perch jerk for, that's what we call it, for panfish. But hey, that's what I gotta do to get these big cats. So let's hope I get these big cats. If you like the video, it really helps me out. If you comment down below, if you like, share. Sharing is a really big thing. It shows YouTube that there's a lot of activity and that people are into the video, and it improves things for me because this is what I do for a living. So, hey, I love you. If you haven't already, subscribe, and I will see you next time.